Thank you, Mr. President. Pakistan's UPR report described itself as a democratic country that protects human rights. As a newly elected member of this council, Pakistan has a particular responsibility to uphold the highest standards in the promotion and protection of human rights. Today we ask, is Pakistan living up to its promises? Well, if so, why do we continue to hear of extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances? Why do we hear almost daily of attacks against Christians, Shia, Ahmadi, and other minorities? Just last week, we had the bombing of Shiites in Karachi. At least 45 were killed, 146 wounded. Previous attacks were claimed by a Sunni militant group that was nurtured by Pakistan's intelligence agencies in the 1980s and 1990s. On women's rights, UN Watch recently hosted activist Mukhtar Mai. She told our Geneva Summit for Human Rights how she was gang raped as a court-ordered punishment. Why were her attackers recently acquitted by Pakistan's Supreme Court? Is this the protection of women's rights about which Pakistan boasted in the UPR? The world closely followed the story of Malala, a girl who was shot in the head for seeking an education. While the government condemned the shooters, there have been 96 attacks on schools in 2012 alone, making Pakistan among the most dangerous places in the world to go to school today. Finally, we urge this council not to forget the plight of Asia Bibi, a Christian mother of 5 little children who remains imprisoned on death row under appalling conditions, convicted for the crime of blasphemy. These laws must be repealed immediately. Mr. President, here in this council, one sees Pakistan taking the floor on behalf of large groups and presenting human rights resolutions. Yet given its record, gross and systematic violations of women's rights, children's rights, minority rights, religious rights, civil and political rights, social and economic rights. Is this not sheer hypocrisy? Thank you, Mr. President.